guest that's going to be joining us is Gwen Tomasulo. She's from the Chronicle of Philanthropy. Gwen and I and others have been working together on a new research project that's going to be coming out this fall that we're going to give you the sneak peek on this morning. So if you're a university or higher ed, this is the time to tune in. All right, so Gwen, come on out. Gwen, good to see you.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes, have a seat. So, Gwen, tell me a little bit about the Chronicle of Philanthropy for those, I think mostly everybody here might know about it, but go ahead.
We'll pretend for the few people that might not.
Yeah.
The Chronicle of Philanthropy, provides services and data and tools for people in the nonprofit, focusing primarily on fundraising and managing. So we're, and millennials are a huge part of that, of course. So we're excited to be here.
And we heard from Cody yesterday. He's the web editor. There's a lot of movement to even traditionally digital print, and now you're going into web.
Right. Well, there's a kind of, you hear digital first, right? And we're actually, kind of pushing in that direction. So it's actually a very exciting time because we're kind of transitioning and bridging from kind of a traditional, publishing company to kind of a more digital media and everything online, especially with data and interactives and all the kinds of different things and research we're doing.
So it's interesting. I'm sure you get this question a lot. What do you guys like to cover? What are, what's the fascinating things and so on?
I mean, I think some of the things we're seeing, trend-wise is, especially with the kind of worst of the recession being over, the Giving USA thing came out, and if we were here a year ago, we'd be talking about that lost decade in 2018, and we just published this week that may not be the case, and that it's actually going to kind of turning around sooner, and we're seeing nonprofits maybe being less risk adverse towards experimentation and things that they're doing, using technology and data, which is exciting. And demographic shifts, so donor segments, specifically women or baby boomers, Hispanics, millennials, obviously, and their giving habits, and it impacts not just giving, but the missions themselves.
Wonderful. All right, so let's talk about the piece that we're working on together. So this is for our university and higher ed.
Sure.
I think this was an idea probably around when we started to see some from the last reports, but talk about the study.
Well, I think it's, colleges are setting this, they set the standard for fundraising.
Right.
But
the machines it sometimes.
Well, sure, right. Right, 50 to 200 people doing fundraising. But ironically, I'd say that they don't get millennials. Which is, kind of the ultimate irony here. But it's very important, and I think that with things changing, and students and alum are facing things like student debt, and I think Dale Partridge was here yesterday talking about, do we even need to go to college anymore, and what's the value of college? And so I think being disconnected from those people is a bad scene for them, and they need to understand it, and we need to understand that. And if that shifts, does that mean are they giving a bigger percentage of their giving to other nonprofits? And watching that individual giving is key. I think we think about foundations and government funding, but individual funding is actually way more than 80% of all funding comes from individuals. So watching where that money is coming from and where it's going is very important.
So we set out, and this year we started to try and understand whether or not millennials, young alumni, those that had just graduated, what they view about their alma mater, which is probably an interesting discussion.
Right. Yes.
And as we look at it, one of the things I think that the reason why we came together on this partnership is to try and help the marketer and the fundraiser do a better job.
That's right.
Essentially.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Well, and I think it's probably the former direct marketer in me that is kind of excited about this and excited actually to see actual millennial reactions to things and watch how they interact with their former universities' websites or their campaigns or their giving campaigns, and really kind of dig in on that.
So there's 4 components overall, I believe, of the research. The first one will be survey elements, and that will be released in the August-September timeframe. And then September at a Chronicle of Philanthropy webinar, we'll release the data together.
What's
the date on that? It's like September
25th.
Excellent.
Which you'll be
our
expert in residence, so thank you.
And then I think, although excited about the survey data, I think the 3 other pieces are really important. We're going to be tracking millennial alumni as they receive solicitations from their alma maters and get immediate reaction. Yipes. In addition to that, we have a panel that we'll be researching throughout the year. We'll be doing user testing and video test reactions to solicitations and marketing materials, and then some updates as well as we get back the data and help everybody. So what's the ultimate goal? I mean, why the Chronicle looking into this? Or what do you want to have happen as the outcome?
Well, I mean, I think that the insights overall, and I think that even though it's for higher education, I think those insights translate and transition well to all millennial giving. I mean, I think that the things that we'll find out, not to preview too much of it, are actually very applicable. And, we're also part of the Chronicle of Higher Education, which is there's a very natural fit there as well, because obviously, higher ed development offices and fundraising is also a huge a huge component.
Yeah, so when we look at the study in general, the goal is not only to help inform, but to help show.
Right.
I mean, because part of the solicitation work is to monitor and
That's
see.
That's right.
Yeah.
And to see things in real time and actual examples, and it's not as academic per se. It's very real, and I think that there's if I were a marketing person or a communications person in university, I would just be desperate to see what they're saying and how they're using it and how they're reacting to it. And I think it's such a specific thing where it's not just a survey where we're actually seeing how they're using it and how they're responding to it is very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, and the goal, of course, I think, which is a good thing, is to allow as many higher ed institutions and others hear or see it and try and understand. A couple things before we depart. What's in the outlook for the Chronicle? Anything that we should?
Well, we have, at the end of the summer, we'll be kind of, for the first time, doing a special on kind of fundraising rock stars.
Good.
Which will be very exciting. We have our How America Gives data coming out in October, which focuses on kind of giving by geographic region. So we overlay some different data sets, and you can go down by zip code or metropolitan area. And I think overall, we'll be kind of stepping up our game on services around data and tools, and even kind of putting some more big ideas out there, and even, dare I say, provocative conversation starters. So I think we'll be.
So when you're the Chronicle in the position that you are, I mean, you're the leading newspaper, the leading media outlet in the cause space. I mean, that's you guys. Is that an interesting role to play? I mean, considering that even other media outlets look to you to.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of a privilege and an honor that we take that really seriously, and that we're independent.
Yeah.
Many other sources of content and publishing aren't, and we are, and we cling to that very tightly to kind of keep the quality exceptionally high and to set the standard and to have other people come to us, and that's kind of like the ultimate when other media sources are coming to us for the answers and for the solutions.
Yeah. I think that's incredible because I think I heard your editor, Stacy, whether on an NPR piece when a billionaire philanthropist does something wrong, of course.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the only the times that when we do hear that stuff. Well, good. Well, thanks so much. You'll want to follow @philanthropy, which is the Twitter handle, of course, and head to philanthropy.com,
That's right.
which is the website. Thanks, Gwen.
Thanks, Eric.